nine, eight, seven, six, five, four, three, two. Are you ready?
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Welcome back to another one. As y'all can see today, family, today we are going over risk management. And today's more of just taking notes because I'm just going to write down a few things. Again, this is basic of information for risk management. So let's go right into it. So we got the charts right here, bum on. So risk management, right? Let's do this. Risk management, right? Now this consists of few components, and they are, we got number one, which is, that's not even one. Number one, there we go. Let me remove that. Number one, which is position sizing. All right, this is pretty much controlling how much of your account, right, your overall account, you want to risk. I spoke about this the other previous classes. At the end of the day, you want to risk anywhere from 1 to 3%. But for beginners, we highly recommend 1 to 2, right? Now, for example, if your account is like $10,000, right, risking 1%, what's that? How much will that be risking? Yep, that's $100 per trade. That's proper risk management. We do this so we don't blow our account. It's that simple. We don't want to over trade, over leverage, uh, do a crazy amount. For example, you have $10,000, and you want to risk 100% of it, which is $10,000. You lose, you just blew your account. You feel me? So we don't want that. We want you to use a certain percentage of your account, aka a certain amount of your money, just in case if the trade goes the wrong way. Guess what? You are able to trade again another day, right? So we usually tell people 1 to 3 risk to reward, right? The next one is our stop loss, right? Is our stop loss. Again, yesterday and a few days back, I went over this. Our stop loss orders. This is pretty much now when we pretty much predefine exit level that to limit loss, to limit our losses, and again, for us not to blow our account. You know, in this number two in the four for the stop loss, you know, we also, and this is very important, we also want to prevent our emotion from keeping us in losing trades too long. Sometimes people would do something like this, like, let's use this, right? Boom, we're going for a short, right? And the market is coming up, and we think it's gonna go up more. What we do, we tend to move our stop loss, for it to have some room. Sometimes we move our stop loss more and more and more. By the time you know it, the risk to reward don't even make sense. Feel me? You like more red than blue at this point. And we don't want that at the end of the day. We want us to be having less red and more blue at the end of the day, right? So number three is our what we had yesterday, our risk to reward. All right. This now is pretty much comparing how much you want to risk versus how much you want to aim to gain. So, determining how much you're willing to lose, which is stop loss, aka your safety net, and then your target, your reward, how much you're gonna gain from taking this trade and it hitting your target. You know, again, 1 to 3 risk to reward is gaining 3 times what you're willing to lose. You know, which is a beautiful outcome. Most of the traders teach 1 to 2 or more. You know, 1 to 1 is just a 50-50 type of thing. We want to at least double or triple at least our account or more while we're taking our trades. Especially we have our confirmation and everything lining up. Why not risk have a low risk and a high reward for it, right? Our fourth one now is our leverage. Sorry, our leverage control. Now, this is pretty much using leverage wisely to avoid any losses. You know, high leverage pretty much could wipe out your account real fast if you don't manage it correctly. You know, again, if you notice, they're all intertwined with each other. They're all the same thing. The point is for you to not blow your account or to overuse. No, at the end of the day, that's what it is. Not to blow your account. Point blank, simple. The name of the game is lose small, win big. And why I say lose small, win big, because we're gonna have some losses. It's not, it's given. If you're a professional trader, you understand you're gonna have some losses. But guess what? These losses are really small compared to our gain. So let's say we took 3 trades at 1%, right? You lose 2 and you won 1. What's that? You lost 1% and 2%, right? But the third one is a 3%. You just gained 3%. So guess what? You still profit 1%. If you know, at the end, because your first 2 was losses, so that's 2% loss you just did. But the third one, you just gained 3%. Obviously, you cross out the 2% for the 2 that you lost, and you stay with 1% gain, which is not bad. Now, imagine you did that for a series of like 10 to 20, 30 trades, right? And your wins are more than your losses. Your account is gonna grow. You feel me? For doing things correctly. Our next one is actually it's gonna be the last one, yep. Which is 5. And this is just pretty much come down to your emotions and psychology. So, am I spelling it right? Yeah, psychology control, right? This is pretty much controlling your feelings at the end of the day. Remember how I said we tend to, and we see that we on the trend, the trades going red, we tend to move our stop loss. Yeah, that's your emotion. That's fear. Fear is emotion, right? We don't want that. Why? Because at the end of the day, emotion can cause you more losses than wins. You know, you want to trust in your skill set. You want to trust in your confirmation, on your trading plan, on your own ability to analyze the market, and being able to read news and uh, sentimental things in the market. You know, all these add up together for you to control your emotion and to take trades correctly based off of straight um, information and facts, not your emotion, right? Following your plan instead of trading on fear or greed is very important, you know, because if you trading with fear and greed, you're gonna potentially and highly give the market a lot of your money, you know, and that what does that mean? That means you're gonna blow your account, which is no bueno, you know, and also knowing when to step away after you lose. And like I said, you're gonna lose some trades, but if you do things correctly, your loss is gonna be small. Now, if you have multiple losses back to back in one day, guess what? After like three, which is 3%, if you follow 1% risk to reward, that's 3% in your account. You know, let's stop it. You know, because if you keep trading after having a series of losses, you know your mind is not right. It's not in the right mindset or right um what's the word I'm looking for? You're not gonna trade correctly, and this means you're gonna lose more money, and we don't want that, right? So, family, risk management is about staying in the game long enough to let you use your strategy to work. You know, like I say before in my videos that I learned from my mentor, let it cook. You know, when you learn a strategy and you have confirmations and you have this and that and that, you know, and you take a trade, be confident with your trades, you know, and let it do what it needs to do. This is why you have proper risk management and knowing your stop loss before taking a trade. How many pips stop loss you're gonna have and how much each gonna cost you. All this stuff is part of risk management, you know. Without it, even a profitable strategy will eventually fail if you don't have this, you know. There's more that you could add to risk management, but you know, these are the top five that we need to really lock in and control for us to be a profitable trader in the near future. You feel me? So, family, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you, and I see you tomorrow. God bless.